New spring banner has been revealed! Let's hop on down the bunny trail with our new festive heroes. First up, we have Katria. Real quick, all the costumes for these heroes mirror the costumes that we had for the last spring banner. So it's really cool that they brought the theme forward, and it's really good artwork. Actually, Katria's might be my favorite, except for maybe tied with the last hero, but we'll get there in just a moment. And Katria has a legendary weapon. It's a named egg. I almost don't understand it, but it's pretty cool. In addition to the stat buff it gives you, it will debuff a unit on the other team if they have a low resistance, specifically a minus attack and minus defense if they have the lowest resistance on the other team. That's pretty interesting, but you know what? Let's go ahead and evaluate this real quick. So Katria has to be above 50% hit points in order for this to work. It only works against the unit or units with the lowest resistance on the other team, and it's a -5 debuff. It is line of sightless, it is aerialist, it just happens just like the chill skills. Here is the thing, though, with this particular skill. If you are targeting someone with the lowest resistance, unless they're like a mixed tank of some sort, they're probably already going to have a really high defense and a really high attack. -5 is not going to make you tied for lowest resistance. I mean, you'd be attacking them with a dragon or a mage anyway. It's nice that they have a lower attack stat so that they're not hitting you back as hard, and you have a couple of options there. It does open up the playing field a little bit, but I don't see this opening up enough tactical space to really be worthwhile. That's just my take on it, though. Comes with drawback so that she can stay safely behind people as they run up there and take the hit for her. And she also has chill resistance, the debut of the skill. And this is interesting because I am not sure if chill resistance and her egg stack necessarily. If they do, which would not be out of the question, weapons have always historically sort of taken an odd precedent as far as skills are concerned. So I mean, if you debuff somebody's resistance by the 7 with chill resistance, would her egg then stack on top of that? That would be an interesting combination, but really we'll have to wait and see at this point. My gosh, you could have had a nice which came first, the chill or the egg kind of comment there, but whatever. And rounding off her kit is a nice mixed team friendly drive speed. Great skill, not really hard to come by too much anymore, but still very appreciated. Next up we have a Sharina, a summonable Sharina in a bunny outfit. How adorable is that? Oh, she even comes with her own egg. Let's go ahead and start there. She's a green tome user, sporting her own unique egg weapon as well. Very similar to what we just saw. Instead, it's attack and resistance, but it's against speed this time. So that actually has, well, let's analyze that one real quick as well. So you have to be above 50% health as well, no line of sight, no area, just happens. This is a little more useful, but not amazingly more useful in my opinion. The thing here is that there are a lot of slow mages that just have a really hard attack, and they tend to have a really high resistance as well. So once again, it gives you another avenue to actually target them, which is pretty cool. But the other side to this is that they're already slow. They're super slow because they're meant to just nuke you. You talk about Julia, you're talking about Sanaki, and that's where they shine. But even with all the enhancements that these units have gotten recently through the refinements, it's not like they're running rampant in Arena. The biggest winners are still the high-speed, double-tapping mages. That's what you're still seeing. There's nothing out there. This isn't going to cripple Nino or anyone else. I mean, like, it's a little bit focused, but you know what? Sometimes whenever you see that Sanaki standing there, you just need to be able to just plow through it, and reducing the attack on that, reducing the resistance on that, might give you that extra edge that you need, because you know you're not going to get double-tapped from that. If you know what I mean, you know I'm talking about the old 1-2, taking some damage to the face, burning alive? Wait, you thought this was a euphemism? Live for Bounty is her B slot, which is pretty cool. It's making an appearance from last year's banner, which is nice, giving you the extra shards in the training tower whenever you complete a map with her. And then also she has resistant tactics as her C slot. If you're in a nice mixed team with her, then it's cool because technically that means there's a differential of 10 there for damage against that particular unit that got debuffed, not just 5. So, you know, that helps out a little bit, and it does let you have somebody else go up and take care of a mage in a fashion that you might not have had the flexibility to do otherwise. Next up, we got Skide's favorite unit, Alphonse. Yes, Bunny Fonz is here, and he has a great big package for you. Giant Spoon. It's basically a Wu Dax, giving you that extra 10 damage whenever a special procs. Let's just hope that it can be refined and get that one extra attack that the normal Wu Dao does, otherwise this will just be blatantly inferior. Story of Al's right, am I right? Otherwise, this kit actually is sort of reminiscent of the original Alphonse. He has Noontime as a special, and yes, if you haven't heard by now, a special that doesn't deal damage still gets the extra damage from a Wu Dao effect. So whenever Noontime goes off, you're still going to get that extra pop of 10 damage against the enemy, which is really great. His A-slot skill is Sturdy Blow, giving him +4 to attack and defense whenever he initiates combat, sort of implying that he doesn't have as much defense as his previous counterpart. Maybe has more, I don't know. We'll have to find out whenever he gets here. And his C-slot is the debut of Defensive Smoke, or a power-crept Savage Blow. I'm on to you, IS. I expect a better version of Savage Blow now. Maybe Savager Blow. The name's in the works. We'll figure it out. Lastly, busting up the battlefield is Kagero. Now, a lot of people were surprised that Kagero was the 4th unit on this banner, and there were a lot of fan theories as to who it would be in this banner, but, you know, this was a no-brainer for me. Let me get a little basic on you for a moment. After they introduced Camilla last year, Kagero was the next most equipped for this particular costume. I mean, we've seen IS add some fake ears and a few extra pounds to some of our favorite skinny units for the sake of appearance. But honestly, this just seemed like she was battle ready for this costume, so it just made a lot of sense for me. Now, speaking of equipment, what does she go into battle with? What's so lethal? A carrot. A lethal carrot plus is an inheritable dagger. In addition to providing the -7 defense and resistance that we're used to from all of these weapons, you also get a Wu Dao effect on it, or a Wu Dagger, or Wu Daoger? I don't know, but regardless, that extra 10 damage whenever the special goes off is there. That's pretty interesting. The special of choice on this default kit is Glimmer. Let's hope she has enough strength to actually pull off Glimmer being the best option for her. If not, you know, whatever, we can inherit things. Her A slot is pretty cool. It is Speed and Resistance Bond. Now, this is interesting because it does refer back to her original unit, where she had a pretty good speed, thanks to ever-increasing speed of red units. Pretty good speed. And a good resistance. So that's pretty cool that they made that reference back to there. Live for Honor is her B slot, making a new appearance from last year's banner, making sure that you get extra badges whenever you complete a training tower level. That's pretty cool. And her C slot is Goat Flyers. What, did I forget to mention? She's a flying dagger user? That's right. I mean, it's so hilarious. If the image of a flying dagger-wielding unit on a flying horse doesn't make you want to go through the colorless pool to get her, then nothing ever will, except for maybe a Riz dressed up as somebody from Kiss. But aside from that, that's the... If you don't want to pull on this, then colorless is just dead to you. Overall, this is a pretty cool banner. I like seeing that Sharina and Alphonse have some new life and new outfits on them, even though I'm a little bit still disappointed that their old units are just languishing there. Katria was a really nice surprise, even though it looks like her niche is a little crowded, you know, because there's a whole 3 of them and 2 of them are limited time. Jeez, IS, what are you doing to me and my concept of availability? I always love seeing new unit types in the game, even if they're seasonal, so having this flying dagger user is really, really cool as far as I am concerned. But I will have to admit, I will not be spending on this banner like I usually do. The Wu Dao axe is pretty cool, and I always like new units. That's just something, even if they're lackluster, I always try to get a new unit type if they're available. But when it comes down to it, there's nothing here that is going to be meta changing. There's nothing here that is going to be super powerful. Like I said, the Wood Axe is pretty neat, but you know what? Slaying weapons are nearly as effective, usually more effective in several other cases, than Wu Dao weapons are. They're almost interchangeable, and there's just like a sliver that you care about that's a little bit different. Outside of that, if a Slaying Dagger from the New Year's banner didn't make a big splash, a Wu Dao Dagger is not going to make a big splash either. There's nothing here that is that great. Speed and resistance, that's an odd combination in my opinion. I don't necessarily see why you need that. There's a few units that would love that, but not enough to make people want to just dump all their orbs into it for fodder purposes. And like I said, the 2 eggs are interesting. They open up a small window of tactical possibilities, but not enough to actually hold any weight. I love the creativity, and I am excited to get some of these units. But you know what? If you're sitting there wondering, oh, is this the seasonal banner for me? If you're asking that question, the answer is no. No, this is not the seasonal banner for you. But that is my take. What is yours? Are you excited to see the repeat of a seasonal banner and see what kind of new things they're bringing into the game? Let me know down in the comments. And a quick thank you to Skide for letting me poke fun at him, even though I didn't technically ask. But hey, whatever. You're awesome. Do me a favor, if you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you. And until next time, take it easy.